Hello everyone and welcome to another DFG video. So I've come down to Reedy Creek today up northeast Victoria. Spot I've been to a few times before, as you've probably seen from my past videos. But it's been about 8 months since I've been back here, so yeah, pretty keen to have a look. I'm pretty sure there's been a flood since last time I was here as well, so hopefully all that flood gold will be replenished and there'll be plenty for us to get today. Thankfully there's a bit of water as well, so can't complain there. Alright, let's get stuck into it. Alright, so I did a couple of test pans just down here. Some nice colours out of that. So first thing we're going to do is just have a bit of a dig down here in the middle of the creek. Try to follow the gold streak. I just took a couple of pans out of sort of behind these couple of big rocks, the material around there, just get rid of those big rocks sort of out of there, chuck them out of the way, fill up, and yeah, we'll just run a few sluices. Few buckets through the sluice. Should be able to run the sluice pretty close here, so that shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, should be interesting to see what we get. Alright, so last time I was here at this spot, I think I showed you a bit of this moss stuff that you get all over the rocks. It's just packed with sand, and it's like, you can see when you break it up, it's just full of sand in there. Oops, sorry. You can see it's just full of sand in there. So I think I'm just gonna, it's all over this rock here, absolutely tons of it. So just for the fun of it, just to show you how much gold's around in this area, I'm going to I'll fill up just a pan's worth, and then we'll get it, I'll just pan it down real quick and we'll see how much gold we get from just, you know, less than a pan's full of moss essentially off the rocks. Alright, this should be interesting. Alright, took me about 4 or 5 minutes, no longer than that, but yeah, you can see I filled up pan, well not even filled, half filled a pan with a bunch of that moss, so yeah, we'll go pan that down and see what we get out of it. Alright, so here's the result from that little bit of half a pan of moss we did, if you can see in there. That's not too bad, really. I mean, there's maybe like 50 pieces in there. They're all really tiny though. But, you know, from half a pan of moss just sitting on the ground, just from over there, that took like 2 or 3 minutes to collect. Cannot complain with that at all. Can't complain with that at all. So just digging away, still going at it pretty good. But I thought I'd just update you with this. I don't know if you can see that on my forehead, but I fell over and whacked my head on a rock. Unbelievable. It is so slippery here. I've never seen it like this. So yeah, I'm just going to have a headache pill now because I got a ripper of a headache. And yeah, that's how it's going. Gold's not too great either. Haven't found that winner of a zone yet, but yeah, we're getting onto it. Going to try a different spot now, so yeah, I'll update you with how that goes and if I injure myself anymore. Alright, good morning. It's morning of day 2. I'll just apologise, I didn't shoot a lot of this video yesterday after I whacked myself in the head. It's just like, I'm done with it for the day. And we didn't do a crap load of digging after that. I was just kind of like, So yeah, I'll just quickly show you what we did yesterday afternoon. We just ran a few buckets through, again, nothing too intense. Didn't find the best area we could possibly find, but you know, it did. So just over here is where we were digging yesterday. You can sort of see around this rock, we sort of dug all around there and started making our way around the back of the rock. And we're getting not amazing gold. The couple of tester pans are about 6, 7, 8 pieces per pan, which yeah, isn't amazing for Reedy Creek, but it was just easy to dig stuff, easy to feed through the sluice. It was right next to where we could set up, so that was pretty handy. So that's what we did, but today we're going to go down and have a look at another spot a bit further downstream, try to find a better spot with that 10 collars plus per pan. So yeah, leave it with us and I'll update you with how it goes. Cox Dredge, located in northeast Victoria on the outskirts of a town called Eldorado, is one of the last remaining intact bucket line dredges in Australia. The dredge was built by the Cox Eldorado Dredging Company and commenced operations in 1936. Dredging the alluvial flats around Eldorado for about 18 years, it produced 70,664 ounces of gold and 1,383 tonnes of tin. The dredge itself, at 64 metres long and weighing in at a whopping 2,142 tonnes, was one of the largest in the southern hemisphere, so large in fact that at the time it drew the third most electricity from the grid in the state of Victoria, only after Geelong and Melbourne. So loud was the dredge that it could be heard from 20 kilometres away, and, as described by a local resident at the time, when it stopped it was truly a case of the silence is deafening. The bucket line, consisting of 118 buckets, each bucket weighing 1.4 tonnes with a volume of a third of a cubic metre, could dig to a depth of 30 metres. Using these buckets, the dredge chewed through 30 million cubic metres of the rich Eldorado plain in its 18 years of operation. Today, the dredge is open to the public as an easily accessible tourist attraction, with lots of information and signage on site explaining everything there is to see. So I'll leave this fairly short and brief for now, but if you're interested, I'd encourage you to visit yourself, or at least look up a bit more in-depth information online. I personally had an awesome time visiting, and I think you will too.